The real reason for a shock AEW title change has been revealed. Plus, we have an update on Jack Perry's AEW suspension status, and future post-injury plans for Mercedes Mone have been revealed. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Last night on Dynamite Title Tuesday, there were two shock title changes. We had Hikaru Shida win the women's title from Saraya, and we had Orange Cassidy become a two-time international champion.
Yes.
But there was another shock title change that took place a few days before that on Collision, with Ricky Starks and Big Bill beating FTR.
Yeah, I'd say this is the most shocking title change of the three. It wasn't so much just the result, but the dominant fashion in which Ricky Starks and Big Bill won that match.
And there was speculation that this was down to, in fact, there was a report that said this was down to an injury to Cash Wheeler. They took the belts off them to go and give them time to recover. However, being revealed today by the Wrestling Observer radio show that no injury, this was part of a bigger plan.
Yeah, they say the deal, I guess, is that Cash Wheeler wasn't hurt, and this is all storyline. It was just to put those guys, Ricky Starks and Big Bill, over big, and they are going to be back. They, FTR, are going to be back in the mix. The match thing was their idea for sure. AEW said it's all story, that there's no injury, there is supposed to be a rematch. The way it was laid out is to set up the rematch.
There you go.
Ricky Starks immediately, I think on Collision later on in the night, even said in a backstage interview, there isn't going to be a rematch, which does feed into this theory, I think, because why would you have the heel tease that there's not going to be a rematch if there wasn't ultimately going to be one?
Yeah, when a heel says there'll never be a rematch, means there will definitely be a rematch.
Yeah, Apollo Crews says it at the end of Rocky 1, and then Rocky 2.
Apollo Crews says it?
Apollo Creed!
Wow!
Oh, come on.
I loved Apollo Crews in Rocky.
450s in the ring and stuff.
Apollo!
Tell me. I loved when James Brown played Apollo Creed Crews to the ring at NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc.
I think Apollo Crews would have been brilliant in Rocky.
Yeah.
That'd have been a great day. It'd have been a great
I mean,
day.
Hogan was in it, so why not Apollo as well?
Yeah, the problem is Hulk Hogan may hear this and he may do an interview in a few years' time and goes, yeah, I remember fighting Apollo Crews on the set of Rocky. He's a tough guy. I'm glad he got an NXT deal.
I'm fuming, Tom. I'm fuming.
You're good.
I will not have been the first person to make that mistake ever.
I tell you, Jack Perry made a mistake by looking down the lens of a camera and saying, "Real glass, cry me a river."
Cry me a river.
It is a series of words strung together that set off a chain reaction that imploded AEW
and the wrestling world.
And the wrestling world great at large, because it led to CM Punk's leaving AEW. Obviously, it wasn't just that; it was a number of things, but it was the metaphorical real glass that broke the camel's back. Mike Johnson of PW Insider has given us an update on things with Jack Perry because he's been suspended since then. Where are we at now, though, Jack?
Well, Mike Johnson says the belief of those that I've spoken to is that he is no longer on an indefinite suspension, but the company is in no rush to bring him back. The belief among the people I've spoken to is that the longer he is away, the longer it makes distance between himself and the incident with CM Punk. I think no matter how long he's away, it's going to be unavoidable when he comes back. Like, it's gonna get brought up either by the live crowd, or maybe they should just get ahead of it and reference it themselves. I even think, because it's wrestling, why not use it to fuel his heelish ways, you know? Why not use it?
You lean into it, you certainly would. I mean, there was a school of thought that said that instead of turning Nick Wayne heel, that would have been a slot with Christian Cage with Jack Perry coming in.
Returning to the fold, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that you have a full Jurassic Express heel turn, staggered, and how Jack Perry in that role, not as like a main focus heel, but certainly like a lackey type heel where he could sort of cut his teeth some more. But no, they went with turning Nick Wayne heel instead, and I'm not saying that's what they were going to do, but it was certainly a lot of people said, well, that seems like quite an obvious thing to do, to bring Jack Perry back in that way. But no, I don't know whether we'll see Jack Perry for a little while. I think they'll still, if the mission statement is for better or for worse, let's keep him off TV until the heat dies down and until, you know, the news becomes chip paper, as it were.
Yeah.
Then we won't see him probably this side of the 2023.
No, we'll just have to wait and see. Tom, I've become distracted because I've just read your next headline in this news video. Okay.
All right. So Chris Van Vliet, who's been knocking it out of the park with guests lately.
Yeah.
One of the best in the business. Nothing but love to you, CVV. He had Hulk Hogan on recently for another fantastical mystery tour of a Hulk Hogan interview. God bless you, CVV. But he had Ric Flair on recently as well. And Ric Flair was asked the question about getting back in the ring. Now, what did he say, Jack? Was it, I will happily, shyly, quietly retire into the night?
No. He said, I want a wrestler game right now. Isn't it crazy? I'm so random. He didn't say I'm so
random.
Isn't it crazy? I feel like because Ricky Morton, the guy that I should have chosen for my last match, would have been great.
Cheers, mate. Jeff Jarrett's crying.
Yeah. Ricky Morton is still wrestling. You know what the best thing for me about it was I forced myself really to get in shape. I've heard this from guys over the years, and when they were older, I was like in my prime. The older guys would say, man, I'm tired of working out. There gets a time when you just get bored working out. You don't have a goal. They gave me a goal and I just attacked it. Yeah, but Rick, you're old now. You're an old man. You don't need to do this anymore.
Ricky Morton, I'm sure, do you mean Ricky Steamboat?
Did he mean Ricky Steamboat?
I don't know, maybe he meant Ricky, because obviously Ricky Morton's still going at 100 miles an hour, and Ricky Steamboat had a final match.
Yeah, you'd think that maybe because the legendary feud with Ricky Steamboat in the NWA. Yeah, hang on.
Ricky Morton, he said Ricky Morton, apparently, so it's really...
I mean, it would be a big heel versus babyface classic matchup.
Yeah, exactly,
I get what he means, but you're right. Surely Steamboat would have made more sense.
I do believe that Ric Flair's last match should be an annual event.
The whole show was called Ric Flair.
Let's do Ric Flair coming this summer. Ric Flair's last match too. I think Conrad is a fantastic broadcaster and presenter, but also a man who knows how to print money.
Yeah.
So, Connie, mate, Ric Flair's last match too.
We need to go back and listen to all the promo material for the original Ric Flair's last match and just listen carefully in case they were all the material they actually went, coming soon, Ric Flair's second last match.
Or if during all the build up to it, Ric Flair had his fingers crossed behind his back the whole time. That's what I'd have done if I was Flair. I was walking up the ramp, just gone, see you next year. Woo!
After admitting that he passed out, I think twice in that match as well.
He's ready to go.
He's
ready to go. Now, we're talking about getting destroyed in the ring. How about times when wrestlers destroy the ring? Right now on our YouTube channel, check out 10 times where the wrestling has just gone quite literally too far and has left a lot of mess for the ring crew to clear up. At least 10 great moments where the ring has just been obliterated by wrestlers.
Wrestling's crazy, Tom. Why, guys, keep it within the rules of the contest, you know?
I remember a North wrestling match. I think it was Screwface versus Rampage Brown many moons ago, and they were pulling up and they were destroying the ring, like pulling up the mats and taking the things off. And I just went, I know what's happening here. They're pros. Not only are they having a great match, but they've also started the ring takedown early,
giving a head start to the ring crew.
Yeah,
that is
everyone's going to be in the pub an hour earlier because of these veterans. God love them. But the ring,
if they'd just done the whole thing, just hitting each other with progressively smaller and smaller parts of the ring.
What's he doing? Oh, he's taking all the pipes and put them in a bag. Oh no! Is he going to hit him with that bag?
Who will stop this chaos?
Who is neatly? He must stop neatly filing those planks of wood in the van outside. What's Rampage doing? He's paying all the wrestlers. What's he doing? He's lining up for something. The ring's been destroyed more than 10 times. We'll take a look at our 10 favourite on the YouTube channel right now. I tell you what, I am ready to see Mercedes Mone back in a wrestling ring. She's been away for a while.
Yeah.
And Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio has given us a cheeky update on where things stand with her.
Yeah, obviously Mercedes Mone ran into very ill-timed injury issues, but Meltzer says, I think the date of her comeback probably isn't so far away. The plan is Julia from Stardom and Mercedes on the for the New Japan Women's title as soon as possible. Mone was, of course, supposed to be the first women's champion of New Japan Strong, but ended up becoming injured mid-match against Willow Nightingale. They called an audible. Willow became the first champion. Excellent decision in the heat of the moment and everything, but it was very unfortunate for Mercedes Mone, especially because everything she'd done since leaving WWE was generating mass attention because she's such a big star.
If the return isn't too far away, could this even be something that you do at the next big Stardom event? Do you get this? Do you even set this up or have this happen in time for that? Or even you make it part of Wrestle Kingdom.
I was going to say it could be Wrestle Kingdom as well.
Wrestle Kingdom in January seems like a nice place to do it.
Yeah, maybe that's slightly too far out. Meltzer just says it should be not so far away, so we'll have to wait and see.
Buzzing to see. Well, it's the match that they wanted from the off. Like Mercedes Mone Andrade versus Julia. That's something that they had set up.
If you're unfamiliar with Julia, she's one of the biggest stars of Stardom currently. She's not just incredible in the ring, as like the whole Stardom roster are, but she's also got an incredible charisma. She's got a great look. She's just one of those wrestlers who she's already a star, but has future star written all over her wherever she decides to go, whether she stays in Stardom, goes elsewhere. Look out for Julia if you're not familiar.
Jack knows all, and if you want to pick the brain, the hive mind of Jack the Jobber, you can do it on Sunday when a brand new episode of Matches of the Month comes out.
Matches of the Month. It's for September. It's a little bit late, but that just means we don't have as long to wait until October's Matches of the Month.
There you go.
That's the way I'm spinning it anyway.
That's a good spin, that is. It's a podcast exclusive where Jack talks about some of the biggest matches that took place throughout the month of September. If you subscribe to the podcast, you'll get it for free on Sunday. How's that? And we'll have the latest wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.